Hey everybody, Bobby Medina, back here with my good friend Paul Barron, and we are back with our dear friend, the great Swedish trumpet virtuoso Lasse Lindgren, who has single-handedly revived the Ulvain Trumpet Mute Company, and he's here to share some very interesting information about some really cool mutes. And today we're going to talk about the original Dizzy Gillespie bebop mute. So welcome, Lasse.
It's good to have you here. Can you tell us what involvement Dizzy Gillespie had with the company way back, and how that mute is special?
Sure. It started, I mean, I don't know really when he's made his mutes. It was in the 50s when Mr. Gunnar Ulvain made the mutes. But in 1958, I think in 22nd or around 20th of May, 1958, Jazz at the Philharmonic played in Sweden, in Stockholm Concert Hall. And Gunnar Ulvain went there, and afterwards there was a jam session at that time, the famous Nalen Jazz Palace in Stockholm. And Dizzy went there together with Roy Eldridge, and there they met, and Gunnar Ulvain had his mute with him, and let Dizzy try it, and he fell in love with that, and Roy Eldridge fell in love with the poppy valve lubricant as well. So they both got one thing. That's the story.
So what makes that mute special then? What was it about it that was different that Dizzy really loved?
The sound, and it plays in tune, and the intonation and the sound, and it's perfect, and that's what he liked. He found his own sound, and it became the bebop, equal to the bebop sound. Miles had his sound, and Dizzy found this to be perfect for him. Mm-hmm. So he played on that. I was in the shop when I was a young boy, and in the Ulvain's shop in Uddevalla when Dizzy Gillespie called and asked for more mutes, and it was very nice. He really loved those mutes. Yeah.
So what are they made out of? Tell us a little bit about the construction of them.
It's copper, and quite thin copper, and it's chrome plated. So they dip it in chrome bath, like a, that's the whole thing. And then they sort of inside that it's actually from the beginning a wah-wah model with a stem and with a small bell on that's adjustable, and in here you have a felt that holds the stem like that, and but Dizzy never used the bell. I think he never used that, but they used it like this. Yeah. And then yeah,
I recently saw a video of John Faddis playing one of these, and we all know John was a disciple of Dizzy, and man, he sounded fantastic with this mute. So can you play it a little bit? Describe to us what the sound is like. Is it a warm sound to you? Is it brighter? Is it something else?
You want me to play or just to talk about it?
Well, why don't you play a little something, and we'll listen to it, and we'll try to discern for ourselves.
And that's with a felt in here.
Right.
Yeah, and then I can show you also, I have, since I started to use them, experimented with some substitute for the felt, and I use some synthetic cork or rubber cork or some inlay here, different, that you can experiment if you have one of those by yourself till you find what you like, and then it makes a little bit different sound. It sounds like this. More crispy sounds, more like
a little brighter sound, a little buzzier.
Yeah, Mm.
Very cool. Well, tell us a little bit about the original cup mute as well, the Dizzy Gillespie cup mute.
It looks like this. Um, it's the same copper, chrome plated.
Yeah, these are beautiful mutes. I got to tell everybody
Yeah.
this. Just looking at these things,
Mhm.
they're fairly weighty. They have a lot of substance. They really help focus sound, and just are. I would say this is a really sort of accentuates deep, low sounds, timbre of your
Mm.
instrument, and
Mhm.
it's a very cool sounding mute. Is this a special thickness, or are these thinner than other mutes, or?
Uh, it has variations. What do you say in English? Through the years, originally they were quite light. That means it was a thin metal. And then, for instance, I have another one here. It's much heavier, and it was made in the 80s, I think. This one, and they have different. Now I try to go back and make them so as light as possible to make, because they are handmade in this. They call the metal spinning, the
Right.
method
Mm-hmm.
when you make them. And if you make it thinner, it will just crash. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
metal will break.
Uh-huh.
So, and and I experimented with a different thickness in here of the mute, and here, also in the cup. The cup doesn't have that much importance, the thickness, for the sound as this part. I mean, in the metal.
And
And
does the nickel plating add a lot of weight to it? Is that a heavier metal?
not really. Maybe a little bit, but it's chrome. It's not nickel. I think it's.
Oh, I'm sorry,
I don't think
chrome. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Maybe that's nickel. I don't. But I'm
No,
not
it's
sure.
not. It's not. It's different. So,
But it's also available in gold plated. I have gold plated, and maybe I will find out if it's possible to make silver plated for someone. I mean, I know people. I have a gold plated, and some people want. You can get that if you want. Of course, it's
wow,
more expensive.
that's
And
very cool.
yeah.
Well, what really knocks me out about all of these mutes is that they sound so, we've said this a few times now, organic. They don't sound like a cheap piece of metal. They sound really warm and fat and lots of overtones, and yeah, they're really wonderful mutes.
And
And
the
in
other,
tune.
yeah, well, and the other thing I was going to say is, yeah, they're in tune, but Lasse is personally testing each one of these mutes before they leave the factory, and so I think that gives it another level. I mean, these are just not just knocked out in some country with people that don't know anything about trumpets and about trumpet playing, and they're made for and by professional people. So Lasse, thank you for the information. This is really cool. We're going to post some links over to the site, and you guys can check it out. Highly recommend these, the Dizzy Gillespie cup, original bebop cup, and the original bebop mute.